Today's coaster countdown is the top 10 roller coasters at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio. I had the pleasure of visiting this park this past summer for the first time and had a great experience. They have some fantastic roller coasters, and so many of them are interchangeable. I think many people are going to have different favorite rides, so there will probably be some arguing of which roller coasters should go where. I've done my best to pick my personal favorites, but it was pretty hard. There are some roller coasters that I consider very equal, but I did have to pick which one was better. So let's see how much you agree with me. Number 10 is Backlot Stunt Coaster, the Premier Rides Multi-Launcher. This is a family coaster. Of course, it used to be called the Italian Job Stunt Track, and this is a great roller coaster for people of all ages. It's not too exhilarating, but it has enough thrill elements that adults will like it too. That is why it's coming in at number 10. Number 9 is Vortex, an aerodynamics custom looper. Now, this isn't at number 9 because this is a bad ride. In fact, this is probably one of my favorite aero custom loopers that I've ridden. I'd put it second only to Tennessee Tornado. I didn't really find it to be rough. I thought it had a strong layout. And even though I only got to ride this ride once, I didn't find it to be bad like some of the other aero loopers like Anaconda. And I didn't even ride in the front seat. I'd love to be able to go back to Kings Island and try it in a couple different rows and see if my opinion changes, but I don't think Vortex is a bad ride at all. Number 8 is Invertigo. This is the Vekoma Invertigo model. And like Vortex, I didn't find this to be a bad ride either. You would immediately think, oh, Vekoma, it's not going to be very good. But I found it to be pretty enjoyable. You go forwards and backwards, it has some good intensity to it. I like how the seats face both directions so you can get a slightly different experience. And overall, I thought it was a solid coaster. Coming at number 7 is the Bat, formerly known as Flight Deck. This is a great roller coaster. Like Backlot Stunt Coaster, it's great for the families because the adults will like it and so will the kids. It has good speed. I love the bank turns. It's not rough or jerky, very smooth. Only downside is that it is kind of far away from the rest of the attractions. So when you want to go ride it, you have to walk down this long pathway. So that does kind of stink. You know, getting exercise is so tough these days. Number 6 is Flight of Fear, the enclosed launch coaster that also has a spaghetti bowl layout. This ride does have an identical twin at King's Dominion, and there's a couple of these spaghetti bowl coasters around the United States, but this is only one of 2 that is indoors. And that provides a pretty intense ride experience because, one, you're already getting all these head chopper effects, but now it's also inside. So you don't really have a sense of direction, you don't really know what quite is going on. Coming at number 5 is the Racer, the classic wooden out and back racing roller coaster. And this is very fun. I thought it was very enjoyable. It has a great layout, you get some great airtime. It isn't really rough for a wooden roller coaster, which is great. I thought it was very enjoyable. Big fan of the Racer. Number 4 is the Vekoma Flying Dutchman Firehawk. And I think this placement really depends on if you like flying coasters or not. If you're not a fan, then this coaster will probably be a lot farther back. However, I am a flying coaster fan, and I thought Firehawk was really enjoyable. Like some of the others, I only got to ride it once. However, I thought it was smooth. Even though it has the standard Vekoma Flying Dutchman layout, I thought the inversions were fun. And overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable roller coaster. So now we're at our top 3. Number 3 is Banshee. And I think there'll be some people that'll place this coaster higher. But the reason I've put it at number 3 is because it is a very enjoyable inverted roller coaster. It has a very solid theme, good layout. It's not as intense as some of the other B&M inverts. This one doesn't really have a compact layout, it is very spread out. And not to mention, how can you not love that big entrance sign out front? And taking number 2 is the legendary Beast. This is the longest wooden roller coaster in the world. It has a 4-minute ride time, 2 lift hills, it goes out in the woods. If you get a chance to ride it at night, it really is insane. This roller coaster is legendary. It doesn't really have a whole lot in terms of ride elements, but because its layout is so spread out, you just get this great sense of speed. In terms of wooden roller coasters, this really is one of the best. And taking number 1 is Diamondback, the B&M Hypercoaster. It's got lots of airtime, very strong layout. It's got that splashdown. It's rare that you'll find that on a roller coaster that isn't a dive coaster. And overall, Diamondback is just very re-rideable. Big fan of Diamondback. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think with some of these roller coasters, you really can swap them around. I know some people that like Beast the best, with Banshee second place, or some people think Banshee's the best. A lot of these roller coasters are interchangeable. This is my preference, but again, all three of them are fantastic, as are the rest of the roller coasters at Kings Island. So let me know which one you like the best. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree? Post your comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time here at Coaster Studios.